everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of the whole Behind the Video series, a series where I discuss certain videos of the channel. I'm doing this for two reasons. One, to really, make a name for myself on the channel, give myself a bit of a human presence, and the second reason is because, well, YouTube unfortunately demonetizes us for reused content, so this can be sort of my way to show you guys how the creative process works and all the thoughts that go into it to prove that this is, there's a lot of creative merit to these videos. They're transformative, and they're not just what people would say AMVs. There's a lot more associated with them. Today we're going to be talking about probably my favorite video on the channel at the moment, and I know that's kind of a paradox because it's actually not that popular, but it's my favorite. It's called Vanessa Doofenshmirtz Wants to Spend Christmas with Her Dad. Now, really quick, the history of this video was that I wanted to release it in December, Christmas of 2021. Unfortunately, this was even before we were demonetized. I wasn't really that confident releasing AMV again. The last one we did was in July. We really hadn't done any since. I wasn't really that interested in posting this video, even though it was really good. So basically what the video was is that it's sort of this fanfiction concept. It's a continuation of the previous two, that being Ruler of Everything and Variations on a Doof. And it's sort of supposed to have this post-apocalyptic feel, all the, these videos, no, not these videos, but the Ruler of Everything video is massive, and this is sort of the spiritual successor continuation, sort of like, what is life like for the other characters? How are the other characters going to react now that Doofenshmirtz is the Ruler of Everything? So I wanted to really analyze on his daughter, Vanessa, because, for one, she's a character who really goes through a lot. Like, at first she was very judgmental of her dad, but now her dad's like this celebrity, this big emperor. He controls everything. He's basically the most popular person on the planet. What's her reaction to that? Does she feel ashamed? Does she feel jealous? Does she feel underrated? Like, how does she feel? So this video was really meant to be her own internal monologue as to, like, she wants to spend Christmas with him, but he's so busy saving the universe. Or maybe he's even gone. Maybe he doesn't exist. Maybe he got stuck in a time vortex or whatever. It's a very fanfiction-y concept of what her life would be like if one day her dad, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, disappeared. So, it's a very fanfic-y concept that I figured would be worth it. So, a bit more backstory. I think it was 2018 or 2019. One of my friends introduced me to this album of this play called The Last Song of Eddie Scored. Now, I've never seen the play. I don't live in the US, so I can't see it. It's not like the biggest thing ever, but it had a sizable fanfare. So this song in particular, she showed me the song. It was just really good, really catchy, and I didn't really think about it until a few months prior. This is around July, August. She was looking at the channel. She's like, hey, remember that video I showed you all those years ago? What if you make an AMV of that? Again, this was a point in time where I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue the AMVs anymore. I just didn't have the motivation to do it, and I was just worried about copyright, and I was just worried that, it's time to move on to other things. Like, this was a point where we were really done with Phineas and Ferb. We just wanted to go on to, like, gaming or tier lists or video essays, right? AMVs were like, that was what we began with. We didn't want to run with it anymore. But I sat in it, I was like, okay, you know what? It would be a great, like, Christmas special of the first video. Again, didn't come out in Christmas, it came out in February, a few days after we were demonetized, actually. And the reason why we posted it in the first place was because we didn't want to double down. We didn't want to be like, oh, this is reused content, we're not posting it. Because it's not reused content. Like, I don't view it as reused content. Maybe YouTube does, but maybe this video will sort of justify why. So anyway, to carry on, what I wanted to do is I wanted to get the clips of Vanessa Doofenshmirtz from the show, like, to contrast the lyrics where she's singing about how she misses her dad and how much, like, she looks up to him despite her absence. And that's kind of, I wouldn't say that's the dynamic they have, but in the show, over the course of the show, she learns to appreciate him for who he is. And I wanted to really juxtapose those, like, heartwarming visuals with this very somber song. And so the first part of the song is really, it doesn't have to do with Vanessa or Doofenshmirtz for that matter. It's just Christmas themed. Now obviously I had to change the tone with effects and audio and all that to make it look a lot more dreary. It's supposed to be Christmas, but the colors are more muted, there's less saturation to make it look all the more dreary and depressing. And I thought that was pretty good, because if I kept the whole cheery demeanor, the effect is weakened a lot. Right. So when we first see her, the big issue is that Vanessa actually does not appear in any of the Christmas episodes. I thought that was a very unfortunate coincidence. So what I had to do was I had to change the brightness to make it look like it's kind of Christmassy. I didn't want to make it like jolly. It was a challenge because I wanted to make it not that jolly, not that bright and Christmassy, but I also needed to portray that this is during December. So my solution was just make it so that the lights are still desaturated, but it looks a little whiter. So maybe it's colder, the weather's colder, maybe there's snow everywhere. So it's a bit more of a visual shortcut, I guess, for snow. I think it actually worked pretty well. Even though she doesn't appear in any Christmas episodes, you probably wouldn't know that. You wouldn't realize, wait, there's really no connection between Vanessa and Christmas. Anyway, so the clips that I used were all from the show, of course, and they were what I would describe as very melancholy. They were all the really cute moments where he gives his daughter the doll that she's been looking for. That's really the moment in the show where she realizes, oh crap, he actually cares about me. He's not a bad guy. You know, I'm embarrassed of this guy who loves me. I even put like, you know, like there's like this whole collage of like her young Vanessa during her birthday, and you can see like the slow scroll as there are no lyrics at this point, but it's like very slow scroll as we go through the clips. Very sad. There's even a small Little of Everything reference, because I wanted to place like little motifs of the fact that this is after Little of Everything. This is like post-mortem. This is post Doofenshmirtz becoming this legend, right? This man of myths. So there's a scene where he has the cowboy hat, which transitions to the platypus is controlling me meme. That is sort of a I don't know if anyone caught that, but that's sort of a reference to the first video that I made, the Little of Everything video. It's sort of like a, not only a homage, but it's just like a purposeful callback so that you recollect the jovial and the jovial and just all around character analysis nature of that video, and you like put those feelings into here. You know, now this is the future. This is different. This was 9 months. No, actually, no. This is like 11 months after that original video. Like, it's been almost a year. Like, how are the characters now? And I remember I had a lot of fun with some of the clips. Like, I would add like aged film, what's it called? Effects to make it look like an older film. Like, made it like black and white. I muted the colors. I made things just look very dreary. And like for a show like Phineas Ferb, which is a very bright colored and optimistic location, that was kind of a challenge to make it look depressing, right? I remember, you know, to minimize a lot of the clips, like, I made sure to very seldom use the two of them together. Interestingly enough, like on the show, they're actually not together that often, Doofenshmirtz and Vanessa, so that was actually not super hard, but I wanted to make it so that the sense of isolation, you can really feel it because they're not together that often. Another thing is that what I did like doing was there were a lot of scenes where like she just doesn't look happy, she looks a little grumpy or maybe even sad, and I was able to portray that. I wouldn't say she's like a very depressed character, but by using those specific clips, it made the feeling that she is very sad. This is a very sad song for her. It's a very rough time to not have her dad anymore for Christmas because he's like a celebrity now. And I remember all the flashback scenes I would put, there would be like this filter, I guess, to make it like, this is like the imaginary, like this is what she wishes she would have, like she wishes she had a family again. And all the scenes where it's like wishful thinking or flashbacks, there's like this very dreary filter. It's very subtle. I don't explicitly state it, but these are supposed to be like the little daydream moments of like what it would be like if Dad was still around. And so that was a lot of fun. Making like a very, what I would call a very like family, not family, I wouldn't call it like family unfriendly, but very like, it really focuses on the themes of family and how much they really matter to her, which is a slight contrast to the show because like I would say her you know, the existence of her character is to implement the whole family gimmick, but just to show the importance of what it means to be with your dad. You know, especially over Christmas, which is a time where families come together and people are more thankful for what they have and what they don't have. So I guess like what I wanted to do is I wanted to make this character who started out as someone who really neglected her own father, despite her father caring for her, into someone who really misses him. It's like the inverse now. Now that he's gone, she's like, I took him for granted. So that was really the whole process behind it. I showed it to my friend, and she really enjoyed it. Interestingly enough, there's actually a Twitter user who had a very similar idea. I know that was kind of unexpected because this song is very niche, I guess, and putting it to Phineas Ferb. Phineas Ferb is not a niche show, but like, what are the odds of that? That was pretty crazy. So no, yeah, it was a lot of fun getting to really investigate this alternate universe where Doofenshmirtz is like this big celebrity that he just can't come around anymore. He's so busy, or he's lost, or he's dead. I don't know. It's up to your interpretation. That's really the point of these videos, is to make these, you know, fanfic, fan art fuel, right? For people to really add more meaning to the work. You know, it's sometimes hard because I have very limited resources to use from. I can only use the clips that exist, of course, because I'm not an animator. But, you know, I'm able to, with the way I edit these things, I can make different stories based off of existing work, sort of transform them into little prompts for people to really build off on, you know, with their imaginations. So yeah, that's the basis of Vanessa Doofenshmirtz. Wants to spend Christmas with her dad. It's my favorite video on the channel, I think, and I don't really think I'm gonna do any more for Phineas Ferb. I think I'm done. Not just because of the demonetization thing. It's just because, like, I think for me to want to continue, I need more, just more motive to do it, more like creativity. And like, I feel like Phineas Ferb vacuum, for me, it's mostly over. Until there's like a new show or a new spin-off or a new movie, I think it's over. But yeah, so that's behind the videos of Vanessa Doofenshmirtz, the rule of everything. I hope you enjoyed. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sorry I didn't release it on Christmas. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time.